You are welcome back to my channel. This is regulatory platform where we discuss issues that affect the insurance industry in Nigeria and elsewhere, and we pay particular attention to regulation and supervision here. In case you're joining us for the first time, my name is Dr. Sam Unika. I'm an insurance and risk management consultant. So you're welcome to my channel. Please subscribe to this channel, and when you do subscribe, remember to turn on your notification bell so that when we upload new videos, you will know about them. So thank you for coming to this channel. During the last episode, we discussed the preconditions for effective insurance supervision, and we identified these preconditions as listed by the International Association of Insurance Supervisors, which is the international standard center for insurance supervision. So these preconditions are contained in the latest edition of the IAIS Insurance Core Principles and Common Framework. You will find it in 2019 edition at page 4. You can go to their website, iais.org, if you want to look it up. Otherwise, the video of the last episode is available at the description box. The link is there if you want to look it up. All right, today I've come back for a discussion of something that I think is very interesting for everyone who is interested in insurance sector development in Nigeria. And I'm talking about the state of insurance industry in Nigeria. If we are going to regulate and supervise insurance industry, it's important that we understand where we are and where we're coming from so that we know where we are going. I want to say that my approach is going to be both complementary and also a critique, if you like. And I do sincerely hope that both the regulators and the insurance policymakers in Nigeria would take something out of this video and ensure that we develop this sector, this industry that is driving development in other countries, that is not really doing well in this country. We have potentials and we can succeed if we do the right thing. Now, I'm going to take a basic approach in this presentation. First, I'm going to look at the positives. I'm going to look at where we're coming from and what we have done. And then I'm going to look at what we need to do, what is not working. I'm going to draw some comparative analysis with respect to other more developed jurisdictions where insurance is functioning, and we're going to look at what they are doing, and we're going to also look at what we are doing, and then we make a decision as to what the next steps should be. All right, let me begin by informing us that during the course of 2021, we have 5 more insurance companies registered by the insurance regulator, the National Insurance Commission. And this is cherry. And why is it cherry? Because since 2010, when we had the FBN life insurance company licensed, we never had any news about licensing until very recently, when we began to have some micro insurance companies and TACAF insurance companies. But in terms of the main players, the direct underwriters and the reinsurers, it's only now that we can talk about licensing of new insurance company. and it has increased the number of insurance. And so we're happy about this, and we say kudos to the National Insurance Commission. We thank the current commissioner, Mr. Sunday Thomas, for the good work that he's doing. All right, that is number one, good news. But also we have a second one, which is the fact that very soon the insurance industry would have a new and entirely different legal framework for insurance business. Now, why is this also good news? It's good news because the last time we had a review of insurance legislation in Nigeria was in 2003, when the Insurance Act was enacted. We had the National Insurance Commission Act in 1997, and then in 2003 we had the Insurance Act itself. And since then, there have not been any amendments or any review whatsoever, despite the changes that we have seen in the international environment of insurance, and also the recommendations of the International Association of Insurance Supervisors, which drive insurance regulation all over the world. So we have a lot of new things that ought to be in the law that are never there, and that's actually frustrated the insurance supervision to a great deal over the years. So the good news is that National Assembly of Nigeria is at the last stages of enacting a new legal framework for insurance industry. I want to particularly appreciate the work done by the Insurance Committee of National Assembly, the House Committee of House of Representative Committee on Insurance and Actuarial Matters, and kudos to the committee chairman, Darlington Wokocha. I thank you for the leadership you have shown and how you have guided the industry through the processes, particularly public hearing and all the committee sittings through the process to ensure that we have something that is agreeable to the various stakeholders. So we are looking at the Senate to do the same thing very quickly so that we can have this law and begin to drive insurance development in Nigeria the way it ought to be. So these are the two major positives that I want to mention on this occasion. Now, let's go to the practical realities that we are facing in the insurance industry in Nigeria, practical realities. And this will take us to some analysis, some comparative analysis. We're going to see what is happening in other jurisdictions and be able to take some lessons home for our own jurisdiction. So let's see what others have done and let's see where we are so that you appreciate the point I'm trying to make at this stage. Now, first, let's look at the contribution of insurance sector to the gross domestic product, GDP. We call this a measure of penetration. And we are looking at 0.6% as the contribution of insurance sector to the GDP for now. This contrasts very sharply, for example, with South Africa, which has nearly 17% penetration. So you can see the disparity between 0.6% and 17%, as it were. So it shows that we need to sit up. Now, let's also look at density, for example, which is a measure of the number of people in the population in the country who have insurance. So ratio of insured to the total population, we call it density. In Nigeria, the density remains at about 1%, and that means with a population of 200 million estimated, we are having about 2 million people having any form of insurance. That is very, very insignificant. Now, let's look at the US, for example. The US has a population of 330 million people as at 2020. 330 million people. And what are the number of insurance companies operating in this US market with 330 million population? We have approximately 6,000 insurance companies. Approximately 6,000. Why do we say approximately? Because we don't have the exact figure for 2021 or 2020. But in 2018, according to reports of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, there were 5,965 insurance companies in the US in 2018. So, give and take, we are looking at 6,000 insurance companies in the US in 2021. It may be less, but let's take that for purposes of this analysis. All right. Now, in the UK, we have 69 million population of 69 million people, United Kingdom. And of these 69 million people, we are having a total of 402 insurance companies. So look at the ratio, 69 million people having 402 insurance companies. Okay, let's go down to South Africa, which is next door. We have 58 million people in South Africa, approximately, according to records we have available to us, 2020. Out of these 58 million people in South Africa, they have 59 insurance companies. 59 insurance companies. And then Nigeria, a total of 200 million people estimated. In 2021, it's even estimated at 210 million population. So we are having only 57 insurance companies. Only 57 insurance companies. So you can imagine the size of the insurance industry in Nigeria relative to the UK, and relative to South Africa, and relative to the United States of America. But what is more depressing is the assets. Let us look at the asset base. In the US, remember, 330 million people with about 6,000 insurance companies. I don't want to mention it because it will be mind-boggling, but let me just refer to just one company, one of the biggest insurance companies in the United States, and the name is Financial Prudential. You can Google it if you like. Financial Prudential had an asset of 940 billion US dollars in 2020. 940 billion US dollars. One company in the US out of the 6,000 insurance companies in the US. Majority of them will be small, notwithstanding. But let us just look at one, which is among the biggest in the US. Financial Prudential, sorry. 940 billion US dollars asset in 2020. All right, let's go to UK, which is a relatively smaller economy compared to the US, and also in terms of population, only 69 million people. Now, there are two companies I want to make reference to in the UK. They are Legal and General and Aviva. Now, for Legal and General, in 2020, the asset of the company, the single company, is 570 billion pounds sterling. 570 billion pounds sterling. One company in the UK. The second company is Aviva. Aviva had the same 2020, 616 billion pounds sterling as assets. One company. All right. Let's go to South Africa, our neighbor. Remember, 58 million people with 59 insurance companies. The total 59 insurance companies operating in South Africa, they generated 240 billion US dollars as assets. 59 insurance companies in South Africa with a population of 58 million people had 240 billion US dollars as assets in 2020. Now, let's go to Nigeria, and this is depressing. Nigeria, with a population of 200 million people, had only 57 insurance companies. Only 57 insurance companies. And now, what is the total asset of these 57 insurance companies in 2020? Meagerly $5 billion US dollars. Meagerly $5 billion US dollars, which is about 1.9 trillion naira. And before I forget, they generated also a total of total premium, gross premium, if you like, of 517 billion naira. Now, this is sad. This is so disappointing. This is depressing, if I may say. So what it means is that the whole insurance companies, 57 insurance companies in Nigeria put together, is less than a branch office of Financial Prudential in the US. The 57 insurance companies put together is less than a branch office of Financial Prudential Insurance Company in the United States. So how sad. This is the story of Nigerian insurance industry today. All right. Now, we have seen the penetration in terms of the number, total contribution of the sector to the Nigerian GDP. We have seen density, which is the number of people that hold policies in Nigeria. I would say there are just about 2 million people who have any form of insurance. And then we have seen total assets of 57 insurance companies that make up the insurance industry operators, and they're generating just about 5 billion US dollars as assets. So we are not where we ought to be. With a population of 200 million people and more, out of which close to 60% is healthy adults working, we're not supposed to be making contribution to the GDP of only 0.6% compared to 17% in South Africa. So now that this is the state of insurance industry in Nigeria, what can we do? What can we do? Now, I want to let us know that insurance business is not a joke. Insurance is actually driving the rest of the economies in the world. The experience we had during COVID, the insurance industry came out to provide support, motivated our doctors and nurses to begin to treat people because they had expectation of small money that could be paid to them in the event of their dying as a result of COVID. So, and also the NSAS crisis also, forced us to learn a lesson that actually we can lose our investments through crisis. And so we must begin to look towards the direction of insurance. Now, I want the policyholders in Nigeria to make a rethink and begin to support insurance and support what the National Assembly is doing by giving Nigeria a new and entirely different legal framework for driving insurance development. I want to advise, with respect to the regulator, to change its position concerning the number of insurance companies existing in Nigeria. We are thinking that because the banks reduced the number of bankers and became bigger, and so we also should do the same in the insurance industry. I personally do not share that view. The reason is because the banking model is quite different from insurance business model. The bank is about certain obligation, but insurance business is designed in such a way that you collect premium and what you're going to pay if there is a loss is higher than what you have received as premium, and so you must invest. But more importantly, there is need for reinsurance so that you can spread the risk to as many participants as possible. So with reinsurance behind the direct underwriter, the minimum capital size is not very essential. And that is why in the US, for example, you have quite a few that are very big, but you have so many small players in the industry. So let us have as many insurance companies as possible so that even in the rural areas, rural communities, we can have insurance operating there, whether they are micro insurance companies or they are commercial operators, as you may want to register. But we have to change our attitude as to the number. I want to see at least a minimum of 200 insurance companies in Nigeria in the next 2-3 years. A minimum of 200 insurance companies. Let them be there. Let there be free exit and entry into the market and let regulation and supervision do its work. Every insurance company in Nigeria under the existing legal framework pays 1% of its gross premium as supervisory levy. And so what it means is that every insurer has enough money is contributing to the society in terms of regulation cost. So we cannot be saying that we don't have money to regulate. There is money. So the more insurance companies we have, the more money we have in terms of the cost of regulation and supervision. So that is one. Then two, I want to appeal to the insurers to take their business seriously. And especially now that the foreign direct investment laws are very, very suitable for business operation, and equity capital can move from one country to another. And we're having a lot of people, a lot of government, a lot of institutions abroad showing interest in the Nigerian insurance industry. They should be encouraged to do business here, and so we can expand. There is room for expansion. So the monies that are coming in, invest it in information and communication technology. Let there be robust information technology platform for insurance regulation. Because some of the calculations you need to do, you can no longer do them manually. You need this robust platform to be able to succeed. So, and also urge insurance companies to take claim settlement very seriously and improve the image of the industry in the eyes of the public, members of the public, so that more and more people will begin to buy into the business. That would go a long way to growing the industry. And I encourage more Nigerians, especially professionals, to show interest in the insurance industry in Nigeria. Today we lack actuaries. In places like South Africa, India, and China, they are in great numbers, but in Nigeria they are very scarce. So more people should be encouraged, those who have capacities, to qualify as actuaries and give their services to the local industry. And then, of course, lawyers and accountants. We are not lacking lawyers and accountants in Nigeria, but those who are specialized in insurance, law, and practice are very few. So we encourage more to come into the industry. Accountants who can do insurance accounting are very few. So more accountants should take interest in the insurance industry in Nigeria. With a population of 200 million people, we have a whole lot of potentials that we can plug into and develop this industry for the benefit of everyone. I thank you for being part of this episode, and I look forward to receiving you to this channel when we come back for the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also remember to turn on your notification bell so that you get more videos as we continue. Thank you. I appreciate you all. My name is Dr. Sam Monica. See you next.